Well, it's going to be an exciting month of fights. On April 21st, we've got Johnny Bones Jones defending his UFC light heavyweight belt against Sugar Rashad Evans. On the very same night, right here in Dallas, Texas, some of my close friends and training partners are stepping into the cage. We're going to talk to them in just a moment. But first, NTTV reporter Kendall James got a great story about local MMA. Take a look at this.
In the last 5 to 10 years, mixed martial arts has turned out to be one of the toughest and most popular sports in the world. It is mainly composed of grappling, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, boxing, and wrestling. But what is it about this sport that is so appealing?
It's as raw as you can get. It's two men, two human beings locked inside of a cage for 15 minutes or 25 minutes trying to take each other's head off.
Jiu-jitsu is so much more. It's like a human chess game, you know, it's like a lot slower, more mellow version of wrestling.
Some fighters started out as boxers or wrestlers and made the transition to MMA because of the growing popularity of Pride Fighting Championship and the UFC.
Here's a few familiar faces that you saw in that video. Allow me to introduce two of my good friends, Randy Manning and Will Hastings. Will and Randy are going to be fighting at the Mesquite Convention Center on April 21st for the Extreme Fight Club. All right, Randy, tell me about your background in combat sports, starting with wrestling and leading up to now.
Yeah, well, you know, I picked up wrestling in high school. I did that for about 3 years, and then my senior year, I started training club wrestling, and then under Star Jiu-Jitsu under Yusef. But you know, I transitioned to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu then, and then you know, I've been doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu ever since then. Okay. And I picked up MMA about 2 years ago, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I've just been going with that and focusing on that.
And Will, you and I have been training for about the same time. We started about the same time. I think our first grappling tournament that we did was on the same day, and our first boxing match that we did was on the same night. Tell me what you've been up to since that boxing match last October.
Well, I had my first kickboxing match in January, and then right after that I had a jiu-jitsu tournament. And then, of course, I put all that together for my first fight in the cage.
Trying to stay busy, keep it busy, and keep the skills sharp. Randy, tell me a little bit about your first fight. What did you learn from it, and what do you plan to do differently next time?
You know, my first fight was in Lafayette, Louisiana. You know, I didn't take a short notice, but I didn't do as well as I could have. You know, I feel like I know I could do a lot better, and I will do much better. But basically, the main thing I learned was stick to what you know, do what you know. I was trying to be tricky, you know, and play mind games, but I ended up playing myself. So I need
and grappling is your strength. So
right. So yeah,
I take it you're going to go in there and use that good wrestling base and jiu-jitsu base as your strategy.
That's right.
And how about you, Will? What's your strategy going to be on April 21st going into your fight?
Well, I'm going to come out and try and be real aggressive and push him up against the cage and wear him down, take him down, and hopefully submit him.
Well, good luck to both of you. All right, folks, we got to move on. Once again, that fight that these two gentlemen will be taking part in is going to be April 21st at the Mesquite Convention Center. Go to frontgatetickets.com to purchase your tickets right now. I hope everyone had a great spring break. I myself took a little trip down to Austin for some South by Southwest to check out one of my favorite bands, Battlecross. I know what you're thinking. Is that really sports related? Well, get into the pit at a metal show and you tell me if that's a sport or not, okay? Anyway, if you've been following this show, I promised you that I would get into competition and mix it up. So, for your viewing pleasure, here is how I spent my last spring break as a college student. Check out this video.
The third annual Fort Sill Combatives Tournament took place this past weekend at the U.S. Army base located in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. The competition was open to all military members, and it was conducted in 3 phases. The first phase consisted of grappling, followed by a pancration phase, which was a mixture of striking and grappling, and the finals took place in the cage. Well, for those who qualified, of course. Rodney James decided to step up to the challenge and test out his skills. Rodney's training paid off, and he was able to submit 3 fellow soldiers in a row after losing his first match in a close decision. After posting a 3-1 record in the grappling phase, he was advanced to the pancration phase, where he lost another tough decision after a 10-minute fight.
I wanted to keep the fight standing, but the guy I was fighting was a much better wrestler. He was much bigger and stronger, and so the fight ended up on the ground, and I really wasn't able to get anything going from there.
Although Rodney James didn't make it to the finals, he posted a 3-2 record in the competition and says that for now he's going to hit the gym and keep training hard. For NTTV Sports, I'm Travis Weeks.